Well, hello, everybody. Welcome back to Let's Talk About It. I am Renee. Um, Reality is and Sisters of the Hood, and we have Linda on from Sisters of the Hood. And so, like I said in the last video, we're going to be doing a lot of videos bringing things to your awareness and to your attention. All right. So this is titled SB 2129, the resentencing uh, law that's in Illinois that Kim Fox office kind of started up. And since I'm not that familiar with it, I know of it, I know what it's supposed to do. But as of late, since Linda has been working with individuals who this would help a lot, there has been a lot of issues. And so I'm going to let Linda address some of these issues and concerns with this resentencing law and how it's working, maybe, and how it's not working, definitely. All right, Linda, take it away.
Hello, hello, hello. I'm Linda, Sisters of the Hood, and I'm here to talk to you about the SB 2129. Okay, this is a law that was completed last year, but it came into effect effective this year, January. I'm going to give to you the details that I've gotten from my research. Now, the Resentencing Act is the Resentencing, we'll say law, is an act that is done by Kim Fox's office. Law was signed, and the initiative is to go to her office for reconsideration of the resentencing. Now, the resentencing tells you that how do you contact the individuals about the resentencing? That would be the Ccsao with the resentencing questions under this law. This is now a law, Renee. They have to review cases to look at the wrongful, the excessive sentencing.
Okay.
In a way, now this is coming out where it's twiddling off everything involving our round table. If you notice, our round table consists of dehumanization, wrongful conviction, excessive sentencing, and the Accountability Act. Now, a case that goes for resentencing and is found to be excessive sentencing, that would fit under the need for an Accountability Act. Okay. Now,
Okay.
they tell you there are stipulations to doing the questionnaire. I'm going to read to you what their document states online.
Okay.
Use this form if you or your client or your loved one wishes to be considered for resentencing under the SB 2129. Illinois resentencing law that allows prosecutors at their discretion to motion a sentencing judge or their successor to resentence incarcerated persons whose original sentence no longer advances in the interests of justice. Now, I'm not a lawyer. I don't know the legal terms, but I would take that to be the resentencing of a judge. It will go before a judge, and the judge will look at it to determine if it has been excessive sentencing.
Well, what is the criteria in your determining factor? I mean, how do
Okay,
you determine?
okay. The types of cases now are being prioritized. Ccsao is currently prioritizing review of cases that fall under the following criteria. Now, this is just phase one. Okay? Keep that in mind. The criteria is a person who has served at least 10 years of sentence for a drug-related offense, a person who is currently at age 65 or older and have served at least 20 years for a non-sex and or non-homicide offense, a person who were under 21 at the time of their offense and served at least 15 years for a non-sex and non-homicide offense. Persons who have served at least 10 years for a theft, robbery, or burglary offense. Okay, those are the criteria that they're meeting now.
Okay. So I'm listening to you, and most of your criteria consist of 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. Everything is above 10 years, right?
Yes.
And you said non-homicide offense, correct? For resentencing.
Or non-sex offense.
A non-sex offense. So, and listen to what you're saying and digesting, listen attentively and digesting it. It seems to me that they picked out what they wanted to pick out to address.
Of course.
Now, for me, if you are going to address excessive sentencing and wrongful conviction, there should be no boundaries, because that can go for homicide, that can go for sexual offense, that it has been proven, and they know it's been proven. Hence why so many cities and states have been sued, because individuals have been sitting in jail for something they did not do. Now,
okay, keep in mind that this is the direction and disclaimer. That's what it says, the direction and disclaimer.
To justify, for me, when you say disclaimer, that's justifying the reasons why you're doing what you're doing. At the same time, it's saying, okay, we know there's a problem. Okay, we're going to look into the problem. Okay, but we're going to put a disclaimer out there because we don't want to look in everything. We just want to look into things we want to pick and choose to look at. And then it's up under the judge's discretion whether the case is worthy to be looked at for resentencing or not. And that's pretty much the gist of it. That's what I'm getting.
Well, I'm getting that this is the first phase of this.
Okay.
Trial and error. Okay. And with trial and error, there comes a lot of changes that have to be made.
Okay.
Now, if you remember, I think you were sitting with me when I got a call saying that all an individual had to do was write a letter, address it to Kim Fox, put their case number on it, put their their ID number on it, and the location where they are. Also, in the body of the letter, state that you feel that your case should be examined for excessive sentencing. Now, this is the first notice I've heard. That was the second notice that we heard. This here form that I'm reading from comes with a document that is to be completed on behalf of the incarcerated person. Now, this here form says incarcerated person IP's first name, their last name, provide an email address for future contacts. IP's date of birth, that's the inmate's date of birth. IPS, Illinois Department of Corrections number, that's their ID number. Enter what the IP correctional facility they're housed at. Okay, that's the second part of it. Okay, now keep in mind that all of this is supposed to be done by the IP. Okay, now IP projected release date, IP case number, either ask the IP or in some cases can be found on the website. IP crimes, any pending requests for relief, appeals, post-convictions, petitions. Now, they stated that this here application would have no effect on whatever it is you're doing, because a lot of people are filing appeals and in the appellate courts. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so
Mm-hmm.
it won't affect that. But I'm looking at, this is the first go round of this. We've gotten 2 different sets. But what I haven't heard is everything that you do, you have to file a motion for, right? In the justice system. You file a
Mm-hmm.
motion to blow your nose, scratch
Mm-hmm.
it. Judge need to go to the bathroom. You got to file a motion, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now, why is this not where we file a motion to have it recorded at the county clerks that it was?
Okay. I don't know what happened. But hopefully she'll be able to get back in. Um,
I don't know
all
what
right, go ahead.
happened.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so my concern is all of the letters that had been written using what they said, all of those letters, where are they going to go?
I don't know. So who's
Okay,
reviewing all
these,
this stuff?
okay, what desk does it sit at? Now, with this initiative information form,
Mm-hmm.
how many inmates can go online and complete it?
None.
Duh. Okay,
None.
but it says that they should file it. Now, here's the click. There's an address. It says, how do I contact the representatives under this law?
Mm-hmm.
There's a message to a particular website.
Mm-hmm.
That website gives you that application I just spoke of.
Mm-hmm.
That, now listen to this. How do I contact them? You use that website.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's a mail address. If you wish, you can send the application in the mail. Okay.
Okay.
How can I request that my case be reviewed for sentencing?
Mm-hmm.
There is currently no application process for the cases to be resentenced. Additionally, at this time, the
Mm-hmm.
Ccsao is not considering individuals' requests for resentencing, as this office is prioritizing the review of cases from its internal identification process based on the criteria listed above. If you would like to submit information for future consideration for resentencing, please use digital form.
Okay. So is that so are they backpedaling? Are they misleading individuals? Are they providing the wrong information? And it's a lot of stuff that's going through my head right now, because if Kim Fox stood up and she made this known publicly that this was going to take place starting in January, why would you post websites? Why would you provide information that does not tie in and agree with the information that you're giving out? So now you got these families scratching and struggling to find out how to get their documents to the proper individuals. But at the same time, you want the inmates to do it, like you said, knowing they have their hands are tied. They can't go online and pull down nothing. They got to get approval for this. People got to listen to phone calls. They got to check their emails. So how are they supposed to do this? And again, I'm going to go back again. This only affects black and brown. So for me, it seems like you're talking out both sides of your mouth. You pretending like you want to make a difference. You're pretending like you want to help. Like when she stood on that platform and she said, I'm from Cabrini Green. I understand. I lived it. I know what's going on. I'm going to do my due diligence. And that is all a lie. That's a lie. A bald-faced lie. A monkey that's been shaved all his hair lie.
Let me share this with you. In reviewing this, it says, can I request that my case be reviewed for resentencing? Now listen to this.
Mm-hmm.
No, there is currently no application process for cases to be resentenced. Additionally, at this time, the Ccsao is not considering individual requests for resentencing, as the office is prioritizing the review of cases from its internal identification process based on the criteria listed above. What is the internal criteria?
They don't list it. They don't
What?
list it. Who is the CCFO? Who is that?
Okay, I'm going to give you this website.
Who is it?
It's part of the Resentencing Initiative.
Okay, but are they under Kim Fox or are they separate entities?
Yes, they're
Oh,
under Kim
so
Fox.
they're under Kim Fox, but they're not looking at no cases for resentencing. But you said it started in January. That's what you said at the Justice Advisory Council when you stood behind that podium. That's exactly what she said. That's what she said when she was at Sankofa. That's exactly what she said. So is she lying or is she not telling the truth? Well, is she telling the truth or is she lying?
Also states, as this office is prioritizing the review of cases from its internal identification process based on the criteria listed above. What does that mean?
Right.
Exactly what are you saying? Because you told people to apply, but here you're saying it's going to be applied to the internal identification process. What is the internal identification process?
Do you really want me to say it?
Wait a minute. Then it says, if you would like to submit information for future considerations for resentencing, please use digital form. This digital form is not a request for resentencing, but will be a part of the list for possible future reviews for review by the Ccsao.
So
What
in
does
other so in
what does,
other words, that's a waiting list. Pretty much that's what you're saying. It's a waiting list. And pretty much what she's saying, I'm gonna tell you exactly what she's saying in my own terms. You know what it means? You want me to say what it means really?
I'm waiting.
It's bullshit. That's exactly what it is. Let's call it what it is. It's a bunch of bullshit. Cause you're talking out both sides of your mouth, and
Because down at the end it says, will victims be notified if a case is being considered for resentencing?
okay. What's the site? What's the site again? CC what?
It's called the Ccsao, but the initiative is
I
S
got
is
it. Hold on. So I'm hitting. I'm going to hit the site. Um. Okay, so let's do this because we finna hit this for real. So it says in July 2021, Governor Pritzker signed Senate Bill 2129, SB 2129, which allows prosecutors, which is Kim Fox's office, at their discretion to motion a sentencing judge or their successor to resentence incarcerated person who original sentence no longer advances the interests of justice. See, that's another catch. No longer advance the interests of justice. It's like a throwaway term to me. Upon receipt of a motion,
people. I've held your people till they're of no value, they're of no worth. So now I'm gonna throw this here garbage out and I'm gonna get some new trash.
exactly. Upon receipt of a motion for resentencing, sentencing judges may, at their discretion, as you said earlier, resentence incarcerated person to a lesser sentence. Under SB 2129, all victims will be afforded the rights outlined in the Rights of Crime Victims and Witness Act. The law is effective January 2022. In the interest of public safety and justice, the Cook County State's Attorney Office, Ccsao, that's Cook County State's Attorney's Office, will utilize the law to review cases and identify incarcerated persons with sentences that may fall into categories outlined below. The process is known as the Ccsao Resentencing Initiative. So here is the criteria, and maybe it's the same thing you have. The general criteria for resentencing initiative will evolve over time with expansions of types of cases eligible for review. The Ccsao will assess the criteria regularly to determine when expansion is warranted. So you're going to determine when the expansion is, how you're going to, where's your statistical data, and how you're going to know when it's warranted. We have, who said there was over 500,000? Is that the calculation that's inside our state prisons, including Cook County? Is that so? How are you going to determine when the expansion is warranted? You can't get nobody out of Cook County jail to go to court for their case in less than 3 years, and you talking about you finna talk about some expansion? Well, let's go a little further. The Ccsao is currently in priority tier phase 1, which includes the following criteria. Persons who have served at least 10 years of a sentencing for a drug-related offense. This is what you read. Okay. And persons who have served at least 10 years for a theft, robbery, burglary offense. The CCSA cannot request resentencing for people who have not served the at least the minimum sentence for their crimes or are currently serving mandatory sentences, such as mandatory life. Okay. I'm going to put a pause right here because I have something to say. Well, that's the end of it anyway. I'm going to look at this camera, and I want y'all to look at my eyes. I want you to understand. Jason Van Dyke, a police officer, and I'm going there. Believe me, I'm going there. Shot Laquan McDonald 16 times in his back. It was proven. It was caught on camera. Are you all following me? I want you to follow me real good. They gave him all the counts for the 16 shots, but what they did not do was sentence him openly. They did it in a private fashion. You know why they did it in a private fashion? Because they only gave him 6 years. Now, here is a police officer who shot a man, a black man going in the opposite direction, who they knew had mental issues, later on was verified. Shot him 16 times. 16 bullet shots is the intent to kill. You understand what I'm saying? That's intent to kill. You're not trying to hurt. You're not trying to harm. You're not trying to take somebody down. You're intending to stop their life instantly with 16 shots. The judge sentenced him 6 years. Understand me?
Wait. What I have a problem with is, where did he do his time?
I'm finna put this out here. So because he was a white man whose life was threatened for what he did up under a badge that says serve and protect, and because people threatened his life, they moved him around to protect him. Understand what I'm saying? They moved him around to protect him. Now, he did half his time, 3 years. He got out on yesterday. And y'all got the audacity to put this up here. I'm going to read it again, Kim Fox, so you can understand the bullshit that y'all got in this lingo. Governor Pritzker, you up for re-election too. I want y'all to understand. The Ccsao cannot request resentencing for people who have not served at least the minimum sentencing for their crimes or are currently serving mandatory sentences such as mandatory life sentences. Here is where racial discrimination is real. Understand me when I say this bullcrap here is full of shit. Governor Pritzker, you put your John Henry on this, and this is what y'all allow. Y'all not trying to help the mass incarceration. You're not trying to minimize the numbers. You're not trying to make y'all wrongs right. Y'all trying to cover y'all asses in the slick way, using the authority, the power, and the position of the governor's office and the state's attorney's office and the chief judge office. Because Timothy Evans, you hold just as much accountability as anybody else because y'all know the law and you allow it. And hence why we have the problems that we have today. Jason Van Dyke, free, got to go home to his family half of his time for shooting a black man 16 times. And if the damn tables was turned and it was a black officer shooting Laquan McDonald, he had been white, his ass would have still been up under the jail. And y'all wouldn't have moved him if his life
still be going through the trials. You know,
Hello?
our people have trials. Have you ever heard of anybody's in the appellate court for 17 years under an appeal? Okay.
You're not supposed to be. There's a limitation for appellate court. So what is the problem with that?
There's accountability. But so, like we said, judges get away with things that they do. I know for a fact that a judge retired 2 months before my son's case came back up. Retired because he didn't want to face us.
And here's where accountability needs to take place. When you go back into records and you find that a judge has sat on a seat for a case and he made a wrong decision, his benefits, his perks, and his privileges should be snatched for the duration of time that the people, those individuals,
should be treated as a criminal as well.
That
because
too.
He has created a crime. He
and
has
a hardship.
A crime against not only the individual that you've locked up, but that individual's family, that individual's neighbors. I mean, this is a rippling effect.
But listen,
he's not violence in the community. We don't have any adults to raise the children.
Okay, but he also violated the oath of office, what he took to uphold justice, to be fair. And that wasn't done. This is my thing. We call this country united. And I say this all the time. We call it united. And every term for us as Black, African Americans, however you want to call us, is nothing united for us. We all get the short end of the stick. We always get the short end of the stick. Before we walk into court, we're already guilty. We're already a drug dealer. We already an addict. We already we already a person of our environment. You know, we already don't do things the right way before we walk into court. So by the time we walk into court, then our lovely state's attorney's office, they're just as part as the racial discrimination because they stall the process. And again, I'm going to ask this question. If the judge has not seen any evidence of the case, you ain't seen no paperwork, the state's attorney's office said that.
Well, we will pause a moment here to give thought to everything that has thus far been said. Until we make a noise, until we make a difference, until we reach out, we're lost.
Right.
Back to you, Renee.
Yeah. So we have a set of rules for Black and brown, and then we have a set of rules for white people. And then you all get up here and you run your resumes and you want us to believe what you say when you say one thing and your action shows something different. Now, this SB2129 does not serve any purpose for individuals unless they've been in there 10, 15, 25 years. And actually, it don't serve no purpose whatsoever. It really don't. Because it's up on the judges.
It has to be internal. It comes from internal decisions.
It's up under the people, the individual discretion. See, I have a discretion. That's just like giving me the option to have a discretion. I don't want to deal with it. But I'm gonna put this on the books to shut people up. That's a SB 2129 is a shut me up bill. That's what it is.
But we're not going to shut up.
That's what it is.
We're going to come together, everyone that this SB 2129 should affect, we're going to make it affect us. Because if we come together in voices and we come together and bring it to a round table and we hold the accountability where it should lie, as we've been stating, if we ourselves address the things that we can do to help ourselves, we can begin this process. We need to be, like you say, educated. What are these state representatives doing? What are the governors? What is his cabinet doing? What's going on? Never in the history of anywhere has prisons gone through what they've gone through this past year. I could not believe a prison does not have water. I could not believe a prison does not provide ample needs for the inmates when there's a budget allowed to each prison for the help of the bills and what have you. It's all it's bizarre. But way I see it, it's time for us to stand up and say enough is enough. What's that song about the shackles or the chains around my legs? Take the shackles from me,
On
or
my feet so I can dance.
yes, it's time for us to get these shackles off. And it's time for us to show them not their dance, but our dance. We have a dance, and it's time
Yeah.
for us to show it.
Well, I'm going to say this, and I mean what I say. Election time is coming. Y'all get up here and run your resumes. You can act like you're smoozing, you whatever your little methods are that you're gonna do to people. We tired.
Hmm.
We way past tired. Everybody get benefits. Everybody get looked at except for us.
Hmm.
Y'all bust y'all asses to give the LGBT community their rights to be covered from the
Hmm.
rooter to the tutor. And we can't get nothing. No fairness, no nothing. And this sugar honey iced tea has to stop. Bottom line, cause enough is enough. So Kim Fox, don't stand up and tell nobody else about the resentencing. SB 2129, which I'm gonna call it the sucker the black people bill, because that's what it is, sucking the black people to believe that y'all really give a damn. And y'all don't. Bottom line, y'all got these families' hopes up high, thinking that their children, their husbands, their uncles, their relatives, their friends, their loved ones can go in this system, get some paperwork, file it with the hopes that their case can be looked at. People that have been crying, they've been innocent for more than 15 and 10 years, and it's up under y'all freaking discretion whether you want to look at the bill or not, or whether you want to address it or not. And y'all call yourself human beings with a heart. I don't call you human beings with a heart. I don't. I really don't. I don't call you honoring your oath of office neither. Because in that oath of office, you promised to do what's right. And you have not done what was right. Period. By no shape, form, or fashion. So you can pat yourself on the back, but you won't get no pats from us. Not at all. And
no, they won't pat themselves on the back. They're going to be busy watching their backs.
Well, that too.
Now we're going to educate. We're going to bring in information about each one of these new laws that they have passed, how it will affect us. Oh, they've passed a lot of laws. Y'all didn't know. They've passed a lot of laws.
Well, just
A lot
know.
of things came up, a lot of things that we're not familiar with, we will become familiar, because now we're going to ask questions. So what we need is a solidarity amongst ourselves. If you have a case that you feel you were wrongfully convicted, that you were dehumanized, that you received excessive sentencing, that you want to discuss the accountability of all these things that have happened to you, give Sisters of the Hood a call, because your case can become part of the round tables questionnaires. It's most important. We can't do it just 3. We want to do it 30. And we want to continue the round table to give everyone an opportunity for their freedom. That's what I'm about. That's my mission.
Yeah. I'm definitely one who like to push information. And when I feel like there are injustices, especially in our community, it rubs me the wrong way. It does. And it sends my blood pressure beyond. And I don't have high blood pressure, but y'all stuff gives me high blood pressure instantly. And this has to stop. It has to stop. So if you have a loved one that's out there, again, send an email to Sisters of the Hood 312 at gmail.com. That's Sisters, SISTAS of OFTHE Hood, all one word, 312 at gmail.com. Check out the website, sistersofthehood.com. And I want you to keep your eyes peeled open for the website that's about to hit, because we're going to make sure that website is populated with as much information as possible, so you can know how to service, how to help, how to support your loved one who is behind those doors. And we're going to be making videos and doing podcasts. So we want your voices to be heard. We want you to use your voice and let no one silence your voice. Because I'm going to say this again, no elected official can sit there hiding in the seat without you. And just like they need your vote, we need to make them work for it. It's time out for them sitting there and skating through. You just, okay, I'm going to drop this card on your door. I'm going to send you some appetite in the mail. I'm going to pay for some advertisement on TV. I'm going to slip some in the newspaper, in the magazine, and I'm going to run this list. No, baby, don't look at the list. Don't look at what they say. Look at what they don't say. Then you
No,
go do
look at
some.
what they do. Look at what they do. If you look at what they do, you won't be confused.
And
Mm-mm.
then go and check their resume, check their history, check who they're tied to, who their supporters are. And you will find out what kind of candidate you are voting for. And it's time for a change. I'm going to say this and I'll be done. COVID is not a coincidence, whether
Mm.
it's man made or not. It's not a coincidence. You know why I say it's not a coincidence? Because God is tied. Just like we tied, he tied too. And it's a whole lot of trickery and foolery going on. And it is. And he ain't playing. Now he know where to find you. Date, second, minute, hour, month, day, year. You know how to find you. Y'all keep playing with people's lives because y'all playing with Russian roulette with those individuals inside those institutions. And you playing Russian roulettes with the family members, mothers who haven't seen their children in I don't know how long. Then went on to glory, still hoping to see their child and did not. And y'all okay with that. And I'm not.
I have
Literally.
a problem with that. I have a problem with that. We're going to make our voices heard, whether you like it or not. We're going to call you out on wrongful things that have happened in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Because if they happened in the past, does not mean that you can't be accountable for it now.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be accountable for all of your actions.
Mm-hmm.
Don't think because, oh, they didn't find out about that. Oh, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's coming. What you do
Mm-hmm.
in the dark comes to the light.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So, what I'm saying is be ready, be ready, be ready. And
All
when I
right.
come at you, I'm coming with a smile. And God bless you. May He keep you because He going to need to. Peace.
That one I like. And on that note, we're going to shut it down. All right. We'll be back.